Today is Trans Remembrance Day, the annual day to honor victims of LGBTQ violence. This morning, how 2020 is on pace to be one of the deadliest years for the trans community.
Eastern Washington and North Idaho COVID cases continue to rise. And this morning, one Washington doctor explains how Thanksgiving could contribute to another spike.
The pandemic is changing the way we celebrate the holidays. Coming up, we detail a socially distanced visit with Santa, plus the deadlines to get your presents in the mail.
And we're looking at a few clouds there in Coeur d'Alene. Clear skies overhead here in Spokane, but no matter where you are, temperatures are slightly below freezing. I'm going to let you know what that means as you start your day.
Up with KREM begins now.
7:30 on our Friday morning. Welcome back to Up with KREM. Well, today, grab your afternoon pick-me-up from your local Starbucks from 3 to 5 p.m. 100% of the profits from any handcrafted drink go to Tom's Turkey Drive.
And that donation could help more than 11,000 people, local families, getting meals this holiday season. Meals are designed, by the way, to feed a family of 4, so we're talking more than 44,000 people. We'll be talking about the Turkey Drive all morning long, so get all of your information that you need on this Thanksgiving right here on Up with KREM.
You know, I feel great when I donate, right? It's just like a benefit of donating to anything. And now you get that same feeling by just getting a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so easy. And there's a little QR code on the sleeve where all you have to do is take a picture of it on your phone, and it takes you directly to the donation link for Tom's Turkey Drive. I just tested it a few minutes ago. Super easy.
Good.
Super easy. And $20 buys a meal for a family of 4. It's wonderful.
We'll have all that information coming up this morning as Up with KREM continues. But Jeremy, we also want to know, we're headed into the weekend. What is that weekend forecast going to look like?
Yeah, all right, let's dive in. Let's let you know what to expect today because we are starting out a bit chilly early on this morning. Temperatures down below freezing, and after we were up above freezing yesterday, well, that means that you're waking up to some frost on that windshield. So expect a frosty start to the day, scraping a little bit of that if you're parked outside. If you're in a carport, we haven't cooled down enough for it to frost in that carport, or if you're parked under, say, a tree. But if you're in the driveway or on the street, expect to scrape a little bit of that frost. We'll hang on to the sunshine through much of the day, though. Temps in the mid-40s a little later on. Not all that bad if you're asking me, but Joshua asked about it, so we got to talk about it. The weekend, temperatures hanging out in the 40s both days. Not bad. That's slightly above where we should be this time of year. In fact, around now, we dip into the 30s for our normal high temperatures, so enjoy this. Mostly sunny on Saturday. Sunday, clouds work their way back in before the chance of snow early Monday morning. Jen?
Jeremy, thank you so much. 7:33 now. Today is Transgender Day of Remembrance. It honors victims of anti-trans violence. Everytown for Gun Safety leaders say 2020 is on pace to be the deadliest in recent years for the transgender and gender nonconforming community. Leaders say it's already linked to 29 deaths so far this year. They found 76% of the victims are Black women. However, Black people make up only 16% of the transgender population. Now tomorrow, Spectrum Singers is hosting a virtual concert in honor of the day. Roses will stream at 6 p.m. tomorrow on YouTube. Donations will help cover the minimal cost to put on the event. However, everything else will be donated to organizations helping trans people. For more information, you can find that on the Spokane Pride's Facebook page.
It is 7:34 now. This morning, we're going to take a look at your top coronavirus headlines.
Here are 3 things to know, starting with this. This morning, Spokane County is seeing a spike in new COVID-19 cases. At the last report out yesterday, the Spokane Regional Health District reported 414 new cases, and it includes 4 new deaths. Experts say 120 people are currently in the hospital, 90 of which are county residents. To date, our area is reporting nearly 14,000 cases. The county recovery rate stands at 65%.
Number 2, in North Idaho, Panhandle Health is reporting 189 new cases just yesterday and 3 new deaths. So far this year, 97 people have died in North Idaho from COVID-19. Right now, 62 people are hospitalized in North Idaho.
This morning, a new study shows some people are willing to risk getting sick to attend Thanksgiving. The Ohio State University reports 2 in 5 people plan to meet with at least 10 other people. An expert predicts 1% of Ohio natives will have COVID-19 by Thanksgiving. That's about 76,000 people. He says the data shows about half will be infected with COVID and unknowingly bring it to dinner.
Around 450 of those people, if that comes to pass, will not make it to New Year's. This is growing rapidly in a way we haven't seen since the beginning of the pandemic, and that what we can do about that is in our control.
Experts again are urging people to stay home and wear a mask to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
There has been a lot of encouraging news this month about coronavirus vaccines. Pfizer and Moderna have both announced their vaccines were effective, even more effective than what many experts were anticipating earlier this year. But this morning we want to give you a look at what the next couple of months could look like, as both companies have now applied to the FDA for permission to distribute their vaccines. Pfizer, by the way, has applied for the FDA approval as of last week, and Moderna is expected to do so very soon. Now, an FDA advisory committee will review the data to make sure the vaccines are safe and effective. If all goes well, one or both vaccines could be approved in December. Then the CDC advisory committee will meet to talk about who gets the vaccines first. Priority will be given to high-risk groups and healthcare workers. Now, by that point, it's expected that both companies will have 40 million doses. That's enough for 20 million people since the vaccine takes 2 shots. The first doses could be handed out as soon as late December and healthy younger adults, by the way, with no underlying conditions will be among some of the last possibly getting a shot around April. Children will also be among the last, in part because research is limited on how these vaccines will affect children.
And also this morning, there's a new kind of COVID-19 test where all you have to do is breathe. That device is expected to be used to screen large crowds at events when they return. Our sister station in Houston connects the dots.
Texas A&M has teamed up with an artificial intelligence company and the Air Force to create a new screening tool for coronavirus, a breathalyzer. Let's connect the dots. The device looks like a kiosk. You use a disposable straw to blow in a copper tube, and then the results are sent to your phone in less than a minute. It uses artificial intelligence to examine the breath for compounds produced by the body when it is fighting coronavirus. Between tests, the copper tube is superheated, so the next person's results are not contaminated. 5 kiosks are being installed on the Texas A&M campus, where they can be used by students and faculty. The breathalyzer tests will be compared to the results of PCR tests, the most accurate coronavirus testing we have right now. That will help determine the accuracy and fine-tuning the test. It's also being used at some Air Force bases. The idea behind the device, called World's Protect Kiosk, is it can be thrown into the back of an SUV and set up outside any setting being used for a large group. Think concerts, sporting events, and churches. The Food and Drug Administration is still evaluating the breathalyzer for widespread public use. But if approved, it could be a welcome change to those intrusive nasal swabs.
Coming up, the CDC has officially stated not to travel for this Thanksgiving. Coming up, we'll talk about the changes you might have to make to this year's holiday plans.
And we are taking a look at Schweitzer Mountain. Ooh, a little bit of fog early on this morning, keeping things mild there, but I'm going to talk about some mountain snow that's in the forecast.